finally! I have a use for this thing. Hello everyone, I am Minidroit, and I really like typical colors too. I used to play a lot of TF2 when I was younger, but after an 8-year hiatus and delete my first account for reasons, I can't get back to the game. I just don't like the Source Engine's movement. It's too inertial, and TF2 runs terribly on my computer for some reason. Plus, I just like TC2's gameplay more. Of the 9 classes in the game, Agent's one of my personal favorites. I just love how cool and flashy your gameplay is. Speaking of flashy, let's talk about the spy camera. Being a side grade to the sapper and relying on your teammates, it's truly a support weapon, giving you mini-crits if you flash when they die. Wow, that's terrible wording. At the low cost of... Oh, wow, I think this weapon needs closer analysis. So, the spy camera, huh? Let's get the elephant in the room out of the way. If you equip the spy camera, you can never disable buildings. So have fun helping your team with attacking on payload, attacking on AD, capping on CTF, pushing on control points, disabling teleporters on all maps, taking down nests and Koth, and generally existing against this guy.
Please help.
But if none of those apply to you, then you're good to go. Have fun. What were the upsides again? Taking a photo of your enemy highlights them for 10 seconds, revealing their position to your team. There's also a hidden stat where marked people receive 30% less healing from all sources. And if your teammates kill a highlighted person, then you get a charge. Only one though. God forbid you have 2. And your camera can only highlight 2 people at a time. So, what do these charges do for you? Well, if you hit your reload key, you get 5 seconds of mini crits. Alright, so it takes about half a second to switch your primaries, so 4.5 seconds of mini crits. Wow. It's sort of like there's a gun that gives you mini crits for free while disguised with no utility penalty. Anyway, what's it like to use the spy camera? It's weird. You change your role from a background pick class to a foreground support oriented player. There are 3 use cases for this thing. Revealing the positions of key enemies, messing with other agents, and... yeah. This weapon heavily relies on your team being competent. There's no point in highlighting enemies if your team can't clear them, and you can't redeem charges by killing enemies on your own. I guess you can use it to reveal sentry positions, but if you play TC2 for long enough, then you basically know all the common sentry spots. Also, it would be more useful if you, I don't know, sap the sentry instead of highlighting it? God. I still can't get over how this thing replaces the sapper. I feel like such a douche using this thing. Highlighting a building that's been destroyed doesn't give you mini crits either, so I didn't even bother with fighting mechanics while using this weapon. Anyway, this weapon's great for spy checking. Highlighting an enemy agent basically guarantees your death. Once marked, the enemy agent's cloak becomes useless as the character model is always visible, and this is particularly useful against dead ringer and after image users. And since the spy camera has infinite ammo, it's agent's best weapon for spy checking. Man, if only there was a class that was also great at spy checking and could easily mark and track enemy agents for your team. Because of the reduced healing that marked enemies receive, I can see it being used while defending on payload because players receive less healing from the cart. But let's be honest, do y'all really think that agent mains want to help their team? No. The real reason why people use the spy cameras for moments like this. Let's get into best pairings with the spy camera. First off, you shouldn't waste your charge on your melee. What? Are you really trying to kill people by mini crit butter knifing them? Come on, just go for the trick stab.
Hello everyone, I am Brett, the co-host of the show, and the new summer update for TC2 actually changed knife pairing meta with the spy camera. Because of the Wraith's ability to gain magic on assist, it becomes the perfect knife to pair with the spy camera, especially since it's utterly useless as an actual knife. This will be discussed in a later video. Back to your regularly scheduled programming.
The spy camera is for punching cocking opponents, and a stock revolver is a great choice for finishing off enemies. Going from 60 to 81 damage at max ramp up lets you easily 2-shot 5 of the 9 classes, and if you have good enough tracking, you can decimate most enemies, except for Brute. But Water Train Spar gets a Brute anyway, and a fast fire rate of the default revolver lets you deal a ton of upfront damage. Sadly, you can't mini crit buildings, but stock is still a solid choice to pair with the spy camera, and just a solid choice in general. Please use stock more, guys. Though, the Silence Pistol is a much better pairing. The 30% damage penalty essentially gets negated by the 35% damage boost that mini crits give you, letting the Silence Pistol do around the same damage as stock unbuffed. However, because of the faster firing rate and larger clip of the silenced pistol, it uses your 5 seconds of mini crits more effectively than stock, and the two just have better synergy. I'm pretty sure the spy camera was designed with the silenced pistol in mind. They have the same noir aesthetic, so... Also, having bullets that don't reveal your position could give you a slight edge in battle, but I wouldn't count on it, especially since the increased damage makes your attacks more noticeable. The silenced pistol and stock are probably the best guns paired to spy camera. The other primaries, though... Let's start with the cloak revolver. It's a great utility for getting behind enemy lines and marking them, but actually using it for offense? Nah, it doesn't work. The mini crits fully negate the cloak revolver's damage penalty, but why would I waste my 5 seconds of mini crits on a weapon that's inferior to stock? This isn't to discredit the cloak revolver as a utility. It's actually an amazing utility and one of my favorite revolvers, but I wouldn't use it in a loadout with the spy camera. There are just better primaries to pair it with, and honestly, getting behind enemy lights isn't that hard on most maps, so the increased cloak duration from the cloak revolver doesn't matter much. If you're only playing Agent to spy an enemy team and act as a reconnaissance unit, then yeah, this is a pretty good pairing. But for the way I play Agent, I don't find this combo very useful. Don't worry though, there are worse pairings. I assure you. Starting with the Ambassador. If you're using the Ambassador with the spy camera, why? There's so many better pairings for the Ambassador. The radius scanner lets you track enemies through walls, so you have a better chance of landing your headshots. The default Sapper is good for actually helping your team and taking out mechanics, and no one uses the slow burn. Just, why would you use these two together? If you're using the Ambassador, then you're going for headshots. Why would you add extra pressure by giving yourself finite mini crits? If you're banking on killing enemies with follow-up shots, then just use stock. You deal less damage per body shot with the Ambassador, and experience worse damage fall-off. Now, you might be saying,
Minidroit, why not just use the spy camera to help line up your shots? You like the radius scanner, right?
well, you see, the radius scanner doesn't tell your enemies that you can see them through walls. The spy camera's unique hit sound and icon tells enemies that there's an agent nearby, and this makes landing headshots even harder. If your plan is to 2-shot people with mini crits, then just use stock or the block 17. You can't even 2-shot annihilators or arsonists with the Ambassador. Your first headshot does a solid 102 damage, and then your follow-ups only do 68, adding up to a measly 170. Compared to stock's 162, there's no point in pairing these two. They have no synergy with each other. An Ambassador agent especially doesn't want to line their teammates for assist charges. The damage difference between the Ambassador's mini crit and base damage is not enough to justify replacing your Sapper with this thing. I mean, I know to be able to headshot in full clip sucks, but this isn't the solution. The Block 17 is actually really good with the spy camera. Of course, from the stats you think it'd be terrible because of the 20% slower firing rate. And yeah, it does kind of affect how efficient this combo is. But man, paired with the Cloak and Dagger, this is a fun combo. With the spy camera, you can extend the Block 17's mini crit duration, and the slower fire rate actually helps me aim a bit. That being said, this setup is super situational, but it's pretty fun, and a Block 17 actually meshes well with the spy camera. Not better than a Science Pistol or stock, but still pretty well. Oh, wait a minute, there's a health penalty when disguised. Never mind, this sucks. The quick draw is also a turbo pairing because it just doesn't benefit from an increased output. You think by how well the Block 17 and spy camera mesh together, it'd be the same here, but no. They're basically incompatible. The 5 seconds of mid-crits doesn't really make it easier to build draw. The design of the quick draw itself is pretty bad, and you probably use your knife more than your guns as it builds draw faster. I don't know any agents to Mr. Draw either, so the insurance argument doesn't apply here, especially with how long the reload time is. The one perk of the quick draw is I can sentry bust easily on draw, but overall, it feels terrible to use. And no, you're not going to get any kills with a taunt. The quick draw itself deserves its own video, but overall, this pairing sucks. The spy camera makes the Sinister suit actually useful. You do 64 mini crit damage per burst, and it's basically like the Block 10 but with 6 seconds of bleed. The bleed per tick increases because of dealing mini crits, adding up to an additional 60 damage if your opponents don't heal themselves. The cards have the slowest fire rate of all the primaries though, and you really feel while using the spy camera. This weapon probably uses the 5 seconds of mini crits at least efficiently, and the lower base damage is unappealing. It's really fun though, and I've gotten a lot of kills with it. Still, it's worse than stock, and really, it's just a worse version of the Science Pistol. Now that we've gone through all the primaries, let's speedrun through the watches. Basically, the After Image and Cloak Dagger are the best pairings of this weapon. Both let you easily get behind enemy lines and let you sneak away when you need to, making getting charges easier. The default watch is okay, but probably going to die a lot more with it. And the Dead Ringer just doesn't work with this thing. Alright, so I've kind of already established that this isn't a good side grade to the Sapper. Are there any other uses for it though? I mean, it's the only agent weapon that can right click without cloaking. Surely it has some other use, right? Maybe you could fake scoping while disguised as sniper, or fake rev on brute. Well, it turns out, no. The spy camera cannot mimic player animations. You can pretend to fire your gun, and this has actually helped me once. But aside from that, this is a huge waste of potential. The flash it gives off is a dead giveaway that you're an agent too. So, how would I fix the spy camera? First off, I'd have the spy camera mimic character animations. By giving you the ability to make your disguise more convincing, it becomes an enticing side grade to the sapper. And you know, actually useful. Also, let agents redeem their own charges. Agent's a pick class, and most of the kills they get are from isolated enemies. The inconvenience of having to switch your secondary and take a photo of your enemy, which reveals that there's an agent nearby, balances out the benefit of storing mini crits. So I think it's a pretty fair change. It's like a worse and more convoluted version of the Diamondback. Also, why not have the camera slow buildings down? If you can't take out sentries, you can at least help your team take them out. Oh wait, because it'll cannibalize the rest of agents' useless PDAs. Oh, and maybe let agents hold, dare I say, 2 charges? Just a thought, you know? I think the only way I can end this segment is with a StaryKrow inspired agent montage.
Couldn't have been him. He's my most trusted friend. He wouldn't steal from me.
Hey Konata, can I borrow your computer for a second? Yeah, sure. Yeah, so are you gonna tell me what's going on with your computer or what? Ah!
So that was a video on the spy camera. What do I think about it? It's not good. The 2 biggest issues with the spy camera is 1, it removes agents' ability to deal with mechanics, and 2, its use cases are really niche. The sapper is a much better utility, and it's essential in attacking on payload, attack defend, and capture the flag. There's no better class for busting nests and helping your team. And that leads to the second issue of the spy camera. It just doesn't really help your team at all. Sure, being able to see 2 enemies at a time is useful, but because of the spy camera's design, it encourages you to be an assist vulture, targeting low health enemies. You might say this is good for your team, but you are pick class. You should be the one taking them out, not your team. Having to rely on your teammates to receive benefits is terrible, especially if your team sucks. I don't know any agents who would want to rely on others to use their weapon. The quick draw is the antithesis of this design. It rewards you for killing others and doing your job as an agent, but a spy camera rewards you for trusting your team? It's just bad design, plain and simple. And it had so much potential. It could have been a better slow burn or a worse Diamondback, but as it is now, it's a downgrade from the default sapper. That's all to say about the spy camera. Goodbye, everyone. When I need